Welcome to Certified Yapper, episode 3. Oh my gosh. In this video, we're going to be yapping. We're going to be talking. We got a few topics to go over. One, we got some new bills. I have a bill tracker. I'm going to fill it out. You're like, girl, why is your rent already over there? Let me tell you, I've already recorded this video and had to re-record. So rent's on there. But we're going to go over the bill tracker. We're going to go over our 2025 bingo card where we're talking about our goals. Okay. We are going to pull out our little blue book, okay, our little blue notebook, talking about the numbers, talking about our sinking funds and all of that. We're also going to talk about life, a couple of different costs and charges that came up, and how my husband and I are doing. So, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you click that subscribe button and stay tuned. You guys, I have updates. Life is lifing. And what do I do best? Yap. And what are we doing in this video? Yapping. Don't you like that? Yapping. I might need to put my little hand or whatever on my next thumbnail and just be like, yapping. Okay. Anywho, we got our little blue book. Love this. I kind of want to figure out what way, like in what order I'm going to go. I think we're going to just start talking about accounts first. Let's get to her. Previously on Paper by Mo. Okay, previously in a previous Yap session, we went over like our life account, right? And if you don't know, our life account was just our pivot account. So my husband lost his job in October 2024 and got a severance paycheck or severance for 3 months. And we took those severance checks and we saved them. And we created our life account, which is us pivoting, us figuring out what are we gonna do with life. So we knew we wanted to move. And then I got a job offer back in November. So we were like, bet, let's just go ahead and put all our money in a savings account, a high yield savings account, so it can gain some interest and then go from there. Now, that means that we were living off of one check, okay? And grateful to God for the opportunity, the privilege to be able to make enough money off my salary to live off of one check. Also, it means that our expenses weren't that high, okay? So we were able to live off one check. Like, we were able to cover everything and then some from my check. So grateful. That's the back history. That's a little backstory. Now, these were all the numbers. These numbers here are pretty accurate, except the balance is not 10,100. It's like 10,200. Not because we've been giving money to it, but because it's in a high yield savings account. And over the past couple of months, we almost about $50 a month in that account. So that's why it is now 10,200. So that's what we're going to do. Again, we also talked about we're going to talk about bills, but we talked about bills as well. We talked about the rent going from $1,622 to $1,545. People, you might think I live in a hood, and maybe I do. I don't know. But really, we got a discount for the apartment complex. I would love to tell you what it is, but I just can't give you all the tea in their business and my business, okay? Because it is a very specific discount. That's one. And then two, we got a really good deal because it was in the winter. If you don't know, move in the winter. Move when it's okay? Freezing cold. Those are the best prices if that's what you're looking for. And I don't know about you. I'm always looking for a deal and a bargain. And then car insurance, New Orleans was really expensive. Loved it. Don't get it twisted. Loved it. But $234.50 a month to $183.50, and it fluctuates. It's like in the 170s. I don't know. But whatever. A win is a win, okay? I'm not being too picky. And then renter's insurance went from $252.97 to $134. And this is not monthly. This is in fact yearly. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip a page. All right, so hard you can see the indentations. And we're going to move our budget planner. Turn her to the side. I know I got some pens in here. Let's look. Let's see, what do we want? Okay, here we go. And I think this is the pen. I hope this is the Pilot pen that's not like leaking ink. Because last time it was like, you don't like me. And I always speak so highly of you, Pilot pens. And you was just giving me a bad red. I don't want to do yellow. I want to do green. And I know I had a purple. I thought I saw, here we go. This one is purple. Okay. So I got all our Pilot pens and we're going to get into it. So I'm going to give you the specific numbers because although it changes and you're like, girl, why do you sit and write it down? I don't know. I just love a paper and a pen. A paper and a pen hate to see me coming. Really, they love to see me coming. I know we say that to be funny, but my papers and my pens, no, they probably do hate me because I write so hard. Okay, so we're going to do life account. All right. And like I said, it's up to 200, not just at 10,000. So that's $10,218.93. Okay. So again, not bad. And you're wondering, what are you going to do with it? Now that we're moved and we're settled in, I have a job. My husband has a job. We're going to talk about jobs also, but what are we going to do with the number? The goal here is to possibly push this to our house account. If you don't know, for our home account for 2025, we want to at least have $50,000. It's a lot, I know, but I have faith in us. Also, I have to preface, people be like, oh my God, I paid off $1 million debt in 6 months. But then they don't say that they have the privilege of living home with their parents or the privilege of not having a car because they lived so close to their job that they can just ride a scooter, or that their grandparents died, God forbid, but that their grandparents died and left them their house and then they sold the house, all those things. So I say all that to say, I'm going to preface it with my husband and I, as a wedding gift, we got $10,000. We do have a video. I have a video up here about like wedding and wedding gifts. I literally break down everything, the numbers, because the only thing we asked for was money to start our life, right? So I say this to say, I feel like we can get there, and I feel like you can get there too if you want to save the money. But I have to be real and tell you the privilege that we have had, and that is getting $10,000 to put towards a house. So let's just start there. Anyways, life account, $10,218.93. So our home account, this is what we have saved. This is including that $10,000 I just told you guys about. But it's the 10,000 plus more, because if you've seen our budget, we like to put some money towards that home account. So that's $16,301.14. Okay, now this account, I don't really call it honeymoon. I'll say travel usually, but what the title is on the account is actually honeymoon. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, you guys gotta go on a honeymoon. We already went on our honeymoon. This is what we had left over. We went on a 7-day cruise. It was really nice. I'm gonna be real with you. I get seasick. 1, 2. We ended up getting COVID after. That has deterred me from going back on the cruise. My husband is like, I don't care. I like the risk. And I'm like, ooh, no. We had fun though. I was so exhausted. We had stuff to do on the boat, off the boat. And I get that is a good thing, but you know how like some people go on a vacation and they have you a long itinerary? Being on that cruise felt like a long itinerary. Anyways, you didn't even ask me about that. I'm just trying to say we got $1,700.07 left over. We haven't touched it. All of these are different high yield savings accounts. Okay. And if you don't know, your girl does have Marcus as a high yield savings account. Who makes it? Goldman Sachs. And if you're interested and you're like, okay, I think I want to get me a high yield savings account, I 10 out of 10 recommend. I do have a link below in the description, but I will be honest with you guys, the interest is not as good as it once was. It's way better than 0.00001 cent, back. But it's not as high as it once was. Like, especially during COVID, the interest was mwah. Do I want to be dramatic? Do I want to say we were getting 5%? I don't know. Maybe at least 4 point something. Not exactly all the way up at 5. But yeah, I 10 out of 10 recommend. I say all this to say Everything gains interest, and I love that for us. Now, we do have cash. I want to say that we do have cash, um, thousands of dollars in cash, just because my husband and I, we just want to be safe. And you never know when you're going to need some cash, okay? Now, let's get in sinking funds. And what I'm going to do here, now we got a story, and then we're going to start talking about something. Okay, so sinking funds. This account starts off at $2,359 and what, 30? Is that a 3? Yeah, 30 cents. Y'all know I can't be reading my handwriting sometimes. So now we're getting into the next portion, the next chit chat talk. The talk about taxes. Womp, womp, womp. Okay. This year was the first year my husband and I actually owed. And I was depressed, okay? I said, babe, go get some wine so I can drink it and just drink up all my sorrows. But really, I went back, I assessed the numbers, I assessed the Excel sheet, because yes, my husband has some Excel sheets. I said, come on now, because I'm so type A. He is so not type A. I don't know what type he is, but not type A. So the fact that he had the Excel sheet, it verified why we owed money. Let's get into it. We owed, how much did we owe? I'm trying to tell you guys. It is $4,540, okay, to the federal taxes. And at first I was just depressed because I'm like, me? Never. Okay, there's two reasons. The biggest reason that we ended up owing, for one, is the vending machines. My husband and I have a vending machine business. He really runs the day-to-day. So I wasn't aware that we were really making that much money. So that was that, and that's a good thing. I say all that to say it's a good thing. Now, when you're making a lot of money, whether it's by cash, card, whatever it is, you need to, not need to, but the expenses that you have offsets it usually. But because the profit was so much higher than the expenses, because when you go to Costco, Sam's Club, wherever, and you get a big box of cookies or a big box of chips, and then everybody's paying $1.25 for what you paid $10 for, and there's 40 of them in there, you're getting way more return. So that was the reason why we mostly owed the taxes. The second reason, though, now this plays a part, is the fact that, well, okay, so when you are single and you file single, that's normal. And you do, like, that's how it was for me. I don't want to talk about you. Let's talk about me. Okay, single, and then I would do 0. All right, cool. They would take out a decent amount of taxes. But when I put married, filing jointly, why do these people, take out way less taxes? So apparently they take out less taxes, assuming that you are the breadwinner, unless you tell them, report in that, one of those W-2s, W-4s, whatever, how much your spouse makes. And I never reported exactly how much my husband made, so they were taking less. So to combat that for this year, what did we do? I just went ahead and said, hey, I'm gonna switch it to single, so you can take as much taxes as you need on the front end, and we can pay as least as possible on the back end. Now, we might still owe if and or when we do more vending machines in Maryland, but I say all that to say, you're wondering, where did the tax money come from? And that's what we got to talk about, y'all. So the tax money came from two places. One, my husband, in the vending machine business account, we had $2,700. Okay, so let's just do a little simple math here. So it's $4,540. Let me subtract that. Yep, I just want to make sure I'm right on the amount. Okay, so minus 2,700. That is 1,840. So we took this remaining amount of money from our sinking funds. Okay, $1,840. Let's put the line in black because we're in the black. Okay, I think that's a good thing. I feel like it's a good thing. In the green, I don't know. So we got $2,359.30, and then we're gonna subtract $1,840. So that's $519.30. That's right. Yep, 5/19/30. So this, we got to do better, okay? I told my husband, I said, well, baby, we gonna have to do better. So we didn't expect it. At least I did not expect it. I'm grateful that we had money in that vending machine account, but we're gonna have to plan, put money aside. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh my God, it's because of Paper by Mo. And I love Paper by Mo, okay? I love doing the videos. I love making content, all the things, but it does not make me no money, y'all. Let's talk about the munions that your girl don't make. So if I just give you a gist of it, I pay about $50 to have my Shopify account every month, $10 for Canva, another $20, $30 for the printer subscription, right? Puke, vomit, tomato, tomato, because why do I have to pay a subscription to have my printer? My printer. Anyways, so we're at what? 50, 60, 70, 80. We're at $80 a month, okay? That's the expenses. Not even including the paper and pens. That's just the baseline expenses. And then YouTube, I do get paid some months when you guys watch, and I'm so grateful for that. But some months I don't get paid. Like the month of March, I didn't see a dime from, I don't think I did. March or April. We're in April. One of these months, I haven't seen any money because with YouTube, in order to get paid, you have to reach a threshold of $100. And then when it comes to selling products, all the products, the printables that I sell, they're $1 here, $1 there. And the most profit, it's not even a profit, the most sales I get on paperbymo.com comes from the freebies. And I love that for you guys, okay? I say all this to say, I don't make a lot of money from Paper by Mo, so I don't plan for it because I'm not making a lot of money. If anything, it takes more money, and I'm okay because this is my baby. You know what I mean? This is my thing. This month literally makes 5 years since I've been on this journey. It's accountability. I love it all. So I say that to say, because I've had people say, you need to take out taxes, girl. What are you doing? Paper by Mo, you're going to owe so much money. We owe money because our vending machine. You were right. We do owe money, but not because Paper by Mo. So we just got to plan for next year, okay, for 2026, because life be lifing, child. Life be lifing. Okay. So this is what we have thus far. Super duper excited. Now let's get into, so these are our expenses. Let's get into our 2025 bingo, okay? This is going to segue in for us talking about jobs. I really want to get into the jobs, my husband's job, my job, things about it. Well, let's start off with my husband. So if you, again, you do know because I literally said it in this video, but my husband was, laid off in October. He had his severance. We were grateful for that. We were living in New Orleans. My husband could not find a job for nothing. Okay. I'm talking about even side jobs. It wasn't like he was looking for a big pay, and he was, right? Sometimes, but a lot of times he was just looking for an interim job. Well, we got to Maryland in literally 3 days. 3 days in, he had 3 different job offers for interim positions. Not making a lot of money, but something to keep us rolling. And let me tell y'all, I love that man, okay? Because I do not think my husband loved his job. I think he's one of those people where he loves the people, and obviously his resume is nice, it's stacked up, and he's taking something that's not, in his realm, but I appreciate it because I know that's my head of household, and it's just admirable to see what he's willing to do for us. Okay. So I said that on one side because I love him and I got to put that out there. 1, 2, when we get to my job, y'all, I was going through the works with my job. So I left my old job in New Orleans, and while I left, we were moving to DMV, Maryland, and it took us about a week. But instead of just quitting at that time when I left, I was taking my PTO. So you can take a PTO or you can get paid out, right? I had some PTO, okay, which I intended on getting paid for the PTO, but whatever. Now, fast forward, we get to Maryland, and they're like, ooh, there's some things going on here, not just with that job, but just a lot with going on in America. And they're like, we're going to have to pause your onboarding. You're going to have to pause your hire for a second. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, am I going to have a job? And you guys, I was going to, me and my husband together, so many job fairs. And again, this is why I love Maryland, because we were not having this experience in New Orleans or Louisiana. In general, we were looking for job fairs. Maryland gives you job fairs back to back, hiring like crazy. So I was just keeping stuff in my side pocket. There were some other avenues that I was trying to get into that I always thought about getting into, like maybe teaching. I'm not talking K2 through 12. I'm talking about college level. Things I wanted to do. So I shouldn't say teaching, professing, if you will. Just looking into my other options just in case. But my job came through. Your girl had started her job, and it's been about 2 weeks. And I'm so excited. I'm so grateful. And there's some things and worries. I don't want to say worries. So like I said previously, I already recorded this video and I had to re-record because I could not hear myself. The sound wasn't coming through correctly. And I'm just like, you know what? We're going to do it all over again. Okay. So if you don't know about my 2025 bingo, basically I had 3, 6, 9, 12 things. There's 12 months. We don't have to do everything like one thing a month, but traditionally, I'm trying to figure this out quarterly, right? The first quarter is over, and this has been the one that it's like, question mark, question mark, question mark. What are you doing, Mo? What are you doing, Mo? But it's in a work in progress because of the whole job situation. So let's talk about it. Okay, here we are. This is start new job, making $120,000 plus that I love, okay? Very specific on the that I love. I hate that it already has a check in it. Like I said, I already recorded it. But I'm so grateful to God because, this has been a work in progress. This has been a work in progress since, I'm trying to think, April of 2024, if I'm being honest. It's way more money. And it's higher than the 120,000, which I put the plus because I'm grateful for it. It's way more money, it's way more responsibility. I am overseeing some people, which is so super duper scary, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the challenge. I do feel like I've had enough bad leaders where I feel like I can know what not to do, but I've also had literally 1 or 2 great leaders that I am still in contact with, and they, mentor me a little bit. So I say all that to say, new things comes new challenges. With new challenges comes, great results. Did I just make up a quote? Maybe. But yes, I'm super duper freaking excited. I will say it's challenging with the people for me a little bit because I am the youngest person there and I'm leading a group of people who are twice my age. Some, is that dramatic? No, literally, yes. There are some that is twice my age, some that's maybe 15 years older than me, maybe 20 years older than me. Like, I actually do not care, me personally, but I think people care. I've not shared my age, so there's that. Even the people who are 15 years older than me look like they're my age, so that's okay. 15 years older than me is still a millennial. Let's talk about millennials be millennialing, okay? Because I literally am 30 next month, and some of my counterparts are 45, 44, some, not most. Some of them are quite higher than that. And I say all that to say it's a little intimidating because they're like, oh, well, back in 85 when I did blah, blah, blah. How old were you then? Not important, ma'am, sir. Anyways, so I guess we could talk about the specific number since we're talking about numbers. And then we're going to go ahead and get into the bills of it all because I'm excited about the bills because can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Okay. Now, I'm not exactly sure on the back leg exactly how much it is. I do know I've seen the document. I just can't remember. That's all. But I know I can't round it up. So to round it down, this is how much I now get paid. $139,000. My new salary. Yay! I'm super excited. I'm super grateful. With more money comes more responsibilities. I feel like I've worked for this, prayed for this. I do enjoy my boss that I currently have, but it's new, I enjoy my boss. I'm doing something that I love. I'm doing something in the field, but I'm also open to doing new things. And I know you're thinking, well, duh, you're gonna make more money. You live in Maryland, baby. You're gonna pay more money because of life. So, with that being said, I want to go over this one as well. We want to color this in too. With that being said, let's pull out our bill tracker. I'm gonna move you out the way. We're gonna pull out our bill tracker, the old one and the new one. Yes. Okay. So previously rent was $1607. It did go up to like 22, 26, whatever the case may be. Because they spiked everybody's. It wasn't just ours. Now, this place, like I said previously, our rent is cheaper. We got just a cheaper rate because we moved in the winter, and we got a deal. We got a discount because of something, okay? And I don't really want to say what do we have to be a member of just because it's just giving away too much information, but I always ask, apartment complexes, any discount if I can get for anything. You know what I mean? Anything, okay? So, with that being said, our rent is $15.45. Now, the difference here, though, is our rent previously, not this 07, the 20-something, but included the water. This does not include water or sewage. So I say that to say, I don't really know how much it's going to be. We have yet to pay it. And that makes me nervous. So I'm going to say $1,600 total. Okay, so I'm going to just put water/sewage and I'm going to put 55. Worst case scenario, we just white it out. That's all. Water, sewage. That was ugly. $55. Okay, that's what we're saying for water and sewage. So totality, hopefully it'll be the $1,600. And the goal was not to pay less or whatever. It was just don't change. But paying less is better, and I'm grateful for that. My husband and I both. I say all that to say, even if it came out to $1,607, whatever it is, we just want it to be the same and our expenses not change as much. That is the bottom line here. Okay, so we have rent, water/sewage. Now, we also have internet. So internet here was $51.50. The internet here we have is $50 even. Okay, so that is $50. Not bad, around the same price. Like I said, we were trying to keep it leveled out, and the internet isn't bad at all. Okay, so the next bill is going to be our electricity. Now, this apartment is way smaller than our last one. It's really more so like on the lines of when my husband and I were both staying in New Orleans and splitting bills. Okay, so, and that was around 2023. If you ever seen any of those videos on my page, we were splitting the bills. We were paying around 1,800 a month, and we had 800 square feet in the city. And that was considered pretty cheap, especially because we had 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, but they were just so small. Here we have 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, small, no 2 bathrooms. I love a good 2 bathroom. I hate a 2 bathroom. I hate to see me coming, but we adapt and we pivot. I say that to say, the last apartment we had was like 1,400 square feet for the 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, spacious. But cooling it down and heating it up costed a lot of money. Okay, people don't talk about that. So I say all this to say, this probably should be way cheaper. Our last bill was like $80, and that included the $20 to start the electricity. And yeah, so here we are. My husband and I agreed maybe $100, and that's the goal. That's the goal. We'll see though. We will see. Okay, so phone bill. This is the same phone bill, y'all. Same phone bill, and they just slowly but surely just spikes it higher. So it's $180. It's an AT&T bill. It's my mom phone plan, and my mom is on it, my husband's on it, and I am on it. The 3 of us. My husband's phone is paid off. My mom and I got new phones at the top of this year, last year, whatever year. We paid $5 a month for the phones. So that's only $10. I say all this to say, it ain't expensive because of these phones. It's expensive because of the service. but we locked in right now, okay? I'm just telling you the truth. Now we're going to move on to car insurance. And if you don't know, I love to put the worst case scenario just in case. So car insurance was $234.02, and I think it even went up. Maybe is this whited out? Looks like white out to me. Don't look like white out. Yeah. So I tried to do the worst case scenario. So I think recently it actually ended up being like 170 something, but we just decided we were gonna put for car insurance another 180. Okay, and I pray it don't go up, you guys. Now next to that, we're gonna go ahead and do student loan debt, but we're gonna do my student loan because we're paying off mine right now. My husband's right now is still in deferment. Love that for him. Love that for us because you know what I'm saying? Like no interest. Love that. So for my student loans, the bill has not gone up. It is $197. I usually try, we usually try to pay that amount and then some. Okay, we try to give a little love. And then after that, we do have a new gym, okay? We have a new gym membership. So our apartment complex does not come with a gym. We didn't really use the apartment gym at the last place because it was super duper tiny. And it would have so many people in it. And it's like, where do you go? Are we just standing around? Are we pushing up, down, left? What? So we decided to purchase the gym. My God, when I tell you, gyms in Maryland, DMV area, super duper expensive, except Planet Fitness. And we agreed we were not going to Planet Fitness. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But it ended up being $70 a month. This is about the same price we were paying for YMCA, the last gym membership we had. Except we didn't have as much, meaning we didn't even have this place we have has a sauna, and it's open 24 hours. I'm scared to go at night by myself, but I like the option, you know, and a sauna, not bad. Okay, so that is the gym membership. And then we have these that haven't changed. So we got the Apple Music, which is $15. It's $15.99. Okay, so it's the family plan. I think it's 15, or is it 16? I think it's $15.99. Okay, which kind of adds out because I was paying for a student Apple Music. My husband was paying for a regular Apple Music. When you do the math, it was just cheaper to have the family plan, right? And so we just added my mom, put it under, I don't know if it's under my name, his name, it doesn't matter. We just added my mom because she was also paying an Apple Music membership. So less money going out. Even if it's just $10, you know, a win is a win. And so Hulu, I do buy the Black Friday deal. So that's 99 cents a month. It does have ads. Okay. See, yeah, YMCA was $71.10. You know, $1.10. A win is a win. Okay, and now we also have our life insurance for my husband and myself, and it is $108.04. $108.04. Okay, so these are our bills. Monthly, not including our expenses like to eat or whatever, just paying for the four walls and these cars or whatever. There is no car notes. Our cars are old and they're paid off. Oops, let's do that. $15.45 plus 55 plus 50 plus 100 plus 180 plus 180 plus 197 plus 70 plus 15. That's not a 15. 19.99. Okay, minus 4. So $2,392.99, and then plus $0.99, and then plus $108.04. So that's $2,502.02. Love that for us. I'm gonna write that to the side because I feel like that is so important. $2,502.02. So these are our bills right now. Pray to God they do not go up, you guys. Okay, now last topic, I think. Also, really fast, if you don't know, paperbymo.com. I do have a weekly blog. Basically, I'm just having different topics, right? Talking about different things. This week, it's going to come out every Sunday at noon. So this week, we're going to talk about debt, right? Should you pay it with job uncertainty or what? What should you do with your money? And again, it's opinionated. It's literally me talking to you, but via words, okay? Not the video. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and get to the home fund. So let's do the numbers. So we have 16,000, which again, I'm so grateful for. Thank you, God. 16,301.14 plus, we're going to plus the life account. Okay. So that's $10,218.93. Okay. That is 26,000. 26,000. $520.07. Oh, I do have that written down. This is important because the goal is 50,000. So if we include the life account and the house account, we're basically saying we're over being halfway there. And I love that for us. And I love that for us. Okay. So February 2025, we said, let's subtract this by 50,000. So we have 50,000. And we're going to subtract the $26,520. Wait, $26,520.07. So that means we have $23,479 left over. $23,479.93 left over. Cool, right? Now we're going to take, how many of these is colored? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to take $2,941 and we're going to times her by 4. That's 11,764. So that means I'm going to go ahead and use purple because I don't know, what is it? April, February, March. Why would I have to go through the months to figure out that it's April, girl? You know it's April. Woo. Okay, so this is 11,000. Are we going to do the 26,000? No, we're just going to, instead of doing the 26,000, we'll add the last, like what's on the life account at the very end. Maybe that's, I don't know. I think that will motivate my husband and I more, like, okay, in our home account, we only see 16,000. So let's just keep going. I feel like the closer we get, it could motivate us, but the struggle motivates us a little bit more. I hope that makes sense. It sounds really sad when I say it, but here we are. Okay, so $11,764, and then we're going to subtract $16,301.14. So that's $4,537.14. And then we're going to subtract that by 2,941. Not subtract, divide. Okay, so it goes in it to 1.5 times. So we'll just do we want to do 2 or what? We'll just do 1. We're going to do 1.5. Because, like, why not? You know? I love a good clean straight line, though. And I have a hard time doing a straight line. Ooh, yes, baby. Straight is the straight line in the room with us. I'm trying to fan it so it doesn't, like, leak. I don't think the straight line's in the room with us. Okay. We should just, like that. There we go. Period. Okay, are you leaking on anything? I hope not. If you want to leak, just leak on the back one. But these are thick pieces of paper, so it shouldn't leak. And maybe when I put the date or the month, the month and the year, I'll also put the amount. So maybe that can help us stay afloat at the moment. And when we do combine the life account, I'll put that down too. Boom. There you go. Just a note to self. A note to self. That's all. Like, girl, you forgot? Let me remind you. Future me. I had a coworker who was like, are you crazy? Because you be talking to yourself. No, but hear me out. Like, I feel like talking to myself and doing work helps me be more productive. I'm like, if y'all don't feel like that, that's on you. But I ain't heard nobody. These little cubicles is just a little too close. That's what I'm hearing you say. Because you shouldn't be hearing my little conversation. And you guys, I don't be loud. I just be like, did I put this in my email? Like, that's how, just a little whisper, That's all. Nothing too loud. Yeah, this is not straight. Not straight at all. But that's okay. We're going to put this down for April 2025. And then we'll put down the 16/30/31, 16/301/14. And we said April. What do I want to do? So let's do April in 2025. And you're like, girl, where are you going to put the number? Down here. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, 16,301 dot 14. Okay, 16,301.14. Okay, not bad. I love this for us. Just got to keep going, keep pushing. What else? I'm praying to God for my husband and his job search. Again, I'm so grateful to him and all he's done, the fact that he's working a job he really doesn't like. I'm grateful to God for my job. I'm interested to see what that check look like, though, you guys. We got to talk about the check. And I just pray that we continue with our goals as a couple and my goals. So these are my next goals. Start a successful garden. Your girl is in the process of doing that in the house, okay? Just like some cilantro, some thyme, some herbs, okay? It's taking time. Finding group and community of friends. I'm in the process of that too, you guys. I'm meeting people, but just because you meet people don't mean you gotta be everybody's friend. So I'm working on that. I haven't even worked for this one yet. The Find Place / club to volunteer at with consistency. So that's another one. I'm gonna have to do some research, maybe even network, talk to some people, figure out places to go. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in another one. Bye.